this this is very interesting. So, a prophetic pastor claims crypto will save American economy from collapse under President Trump. Says vision from God showed him rocket takeoff with crypto. So this is Pastor Brandon Briggs. He's on I believe he's on the Alex Jones show, and he's had like a, he's saying he's having visions of crypto being like the future and being able to like save the American economy. So let's get into it.
Dollars into crypto in the near future. And like I said, this is not financial advice. I always have to say that. But this is what the Lord's showing me. So you pray about it and see what the Lord's showing you. But I saw major stuff about to take place of crypto, and I saw like a rocket ship taking off after the 20th, and it would be a funding to save America.
You see, the first problem I have here with prophetic ministries, right, is that you're never supposed to like put a date on it, because God God's perception of time versus man's perception of time are two different things. You're never supposed to put like a time period on something like that God shows you, So that's red flag number one for me.
America's financial and for it not to collapse. The Lord showed me, he said, when he gets in, I've seen after the 20th, I'm talking a major, I saw a rocket take off with crypto and things that are going to fix, that are about to take place with certain cryptos. And the Lord warned me, he said, he will bring in the finances for, if you're listening to what the Lord is saying, the Lord told me, he said, he will bring in like a rocket taken off with finances. I saw the United States government investing over $1 trillion into crypto in the near future. And, like I said, this is not financial advice. I always have to say that. But this is what the Lord's showing me. So you pray about it and see what the Lord's showing you. But I saw major stuff about to take place of crypto. And I saw.
Here's another thing that's fishy to me. Why is it this president? The Lord showed you a vision about Trump and not the very last president? Trump is just the one that's like particularly special. That's another thing that doesn't smell right to me. Continue.
Like a rocket ship taking off after the 20th, and it would be a funding to save America's financial and for it not to collapse. I'm telling you, because of the prayers of the saints in October, there were so many people praying in Washington, D.C., and the Bible says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways, then they will hear from heaven and I will heal their land. And so I believe a lot of the Christian people, the patriots, are out praying and interceding for America, and that is what's caused this shifting, because the Lord said, because of the prayers of the righteous, he said, Brandon, I'm given a window of opportunity, because I've seen a major crash coming to the American economy because of basically what these people are doing behind closed doors, and what people don't have a clue about what they're doing. And it's bad. And I've been in meetings in the spirit. The Lord has let me hear people talking and being in meetings and seeing, all that money we sent to Ukraine. I've seen what they've done with that. A lot of money.
Now, see, here's another thing. You remember how I just said that, like, why is Trump so special? Why did the Lord show you visions about Trump? Why are Republicans so special? That here's another red flag for me that I'm picking up on as far as like patterns go, as far as like a narrative inside of this video. Why are Republicans like very special? See, he's derailing into like a territory where it starts to talk about like the decisions that were made in the previous presidency, which is Joe Biden, which if we go deeper down the rabbit hole, he's basically talking about Democrats. Why are God just is showing you messages about Republican people? God is just like, make that make sense for me. Why is he? Why is he showing you things about? Why is he showing you thing good things about Republican people, but bad things about Democrats? You see, there's an agenda to fill here. There's an agenda to feel out here as far as what these specific visions are. I don't doubt that he's having visions because prophetic ministry is a very real thing, but the red flag starts to come in as to what you're claiming because you're specifically tailor making it to sound a certain way for a certain group of people. As I stated before, I don't doubt that you're having visions, but I do doubt that your specific visions are only tailor made to one group of people. That's just my whole thing.
Where it went. I know where it went. And so the Lord showed me different details about people hiding that money, and it was dark what they're doing, and just the the human trafficking and the sex trafficking. The Lord showed me that they were doing that because it was actually feeding every time they did that, and they were doing this to these children. Why are they doing this to these kids? It's so sick. And the Lord said it's because it's a they're when they do this, these like the people like the Epsteins and people like that, it give when they've dedicated their heart to the devil and they went and said, "Hey, I sold my soul to you," he has required for payment for that. And so, what feeds the demonic spirit behind that and makes it stronger is doing things against children. And so the Lord showed me, he said, that's why this is going on. And I saw when Trump tries to come against these pedophilia rings and all this dark stuff, that's when they get.
Now, see, here we go again. Taylor making it towards Trump, towards Republican people. What the visions that you're claiming to see with regards to like PDF stuff, that should just be tied into just people in power, and people in power. It's not just. I'm gonna be honest when I say this. It's not on one side of this. It's not on one side of the road, and not on the other side of the road. When you make the claim that Trump is coming to save our government from that, when he's associated just as much as anybody else on that other side with regards to the PDF stuff, or in association with people who are involved with the PDF stuff, like Epstein. So, in that regard, I'm just kind of like, where do your morals lie in telling the absolute truth instead of one single solitary particular truth that aims towards one side of the field? If you get my drift.
Get really upset because it's a demonic spirit that's behind it.
We put out 5 previous collectible InfoWars coins, and they're all amazing.
Yeah, that completely just like undermines one section, one group, and then makes the other part of the group look superior and superhero like the Republicans are coming to save the U.S. economy, the Republicans are coming to save the American government. Like, bro, on both sides, bad things are done. You might not hear it. You might not hear enough of whatever happens on one side versus the other side, but bad things happen. So, I mean, that's just how I feel on it. And I'm also going to look at another one because I saved 2 different videos here. So, another one that he says, he claims here that he had a prophecy of more than 1,000 terrorists carrying out major attacks in over 10 U.S. cities. Pastor Big claims he received this nightmarish vision from God to prepare the American people and hopefully prevent its fulfillment. So let's just check this one out as well.
Was like so much more, like a huge 9/11 type event, y'all. And so, but it wasn't just one. The Lord showed me that it was over 1,000 men, and there was 10 major cities. There was 10 cities, the Lord told me. And so all the cities were had a target of like a Trump Tower or a Trump golf course or something that was important of our our heritage. All like the Statue of Liberty was a target, and I thought, why the Statue of Liberty? It doesn't have a lot of people around it, but it represents freedom. It represents something that's important to us.
You know what's crazy? Glad he brought up the Statue of Liberty. I have been told, a friend of mine actually told me this, that the Statue of Liberty is actually demonic. I have to go in depth on it in another video, but somebody told me that the Statue of Liberty has a demonic, some type of demonic symbol to it. So, gotta just go back into that when I get a chance to.
And so I saw them go in and they try to take that out. I saw over what's the gardens over? I'm sorry, son. The Madison Square Garden. Yeah. I saw them attacking that. I saw them attacking Chicago. I saw them attacking Houston area, Dallas area. I saw them trying to attack Oklahoma City.
Wow.
LA, Seattle. There was a lot of cities.
Interesting. Oh yeah, let me. I forgot. Playback.
This is what I saw coming for. I believe this is not just about the inauguration, folks. This is a lot more than that. This is huge. I saw because he attacked. Whenever he assassinated the man in Iraq, Assam Suleimani, I guess is his name.
Yeah, the Quds Iranian guy.
Yeah. Okay. So whenever he did that, they're still really upset about this, and so that's what the Lord was showing me is this what they're planning is bigger than terrorist attacks. This is actually an invasion of an act of war for what I believe is coming. It's not like, well, we're saying, well, this is Al Qaeda, this is ISIS. This is actually Iranian government coming over here. They've come across the border. I saw them in tunnels that were being smuggled in by drug traffickers. And I saw tunnels. What the Lord showed me is these metal-looking structures, and they were underneath the earth, and they were actually going from Mexico into America into these like houses, and they were smuggling like they would do for human trafficking and drugs and all that. Well, I saw these men, and there's literally 1,000 of them. I saw over 1,000 men that were being smuggled in, and I'm talking big money. This was not just like a little bit of money that I saw that they were paying the drug smugglers and for funding to get over here. But the Lord told me, He said, I want you to focus on fertilizer. And I didn't know what He was saying at the time because I saw these like farming equipment, and I was like, Lord, what are you showing me? And all of a sudden I saw because it was like silos, but He was trying.
Iran vows revenge for Soleimani.
So I saw fertilizer, and the Lord said, I want you to remember Timothy McVeigh and remember what happened in Oklahoma City. And so I saw all this fertilizer for quite a while since they've been here. They've been coming over for a long time now. I saw these three men for sure, and I can and if people ask me what they look like, I can describe to the FBI, whoever would ever want to know. But I saw these three men, and the Lord told me that they were like generals in the.
I'm gonna be honest. He goes and tells the FBI. The FBI gonna look at him crazy, like, bro, you're cuckoo. You're cuckoo. I mean, I don't feel like this is like. I'm not gonna say that I don't think like pastors who do prophetic ministry shouldn't like do this, but like I don't think like you should be out here like displaying this, because the reason why I say that is because what if your prophecy doesn't happen, Sometimes pastors have prophecies and sometimes their prophecies don't actually happen because it's not on God's time. That's why I say that whenever a prophetic pastor has a vision and God gives them a vision, and like I said, I believe in God and I believe in prophetic ministry. I just don't believe that any pastor should be putting like a time point on something that God shows them, because the time that you think it is probably not the time that God foresees it happening, or God foresees a blessing happening. So it's like stop trying to like put like times and dates on it, because God's time is completely different from man's time. So
and the army, Al Qaeda people. They were like, these are not like little guys. They were being smuggled over. And the one man was a heavy set man with a big beard. And the other guy was not as heavy, and then the other guy they were skinnier looking. The other two guys were skinny, but there was three men, and they crossed over around Mexico and Arizona, around that area. And the Lord, that's where I saw in the vision where these men were coming. I saw mountains in the background. I could see the sun going down, and they got in a black van. And
is he saying that there's going to be another drug war?
And that's what the Lord showed me about these three men, and they were very powerful in this terrorist organization. And so, okay, so I'll go back to what the Lord showed me. So the Lord showed me them gathering the materials for making these bombs for over a year. And so they were getting the fertilizers and the vans, and I saw dump trucks. So okay, so the Lord showed me
it's very specific though.
They put like armor all on the front and on the side, so if they were going through police barricades or whatever, that they would not be stopped by bullets or any kind of retaliation against them. So they made them like tanks. And so they put all this fertilizer and stuff when they're in this vision. What the Lord showed me, it was very detailed, and I saw them split up all of the fertilizer, and they made it into compartments. It looked like 50-gallon drums, but it was humongous, barrels in the back of these huge diesel dump trucks. And so then I saw two men in those dump trucks.
The reason why I say like he shouldn't be out here saying this is because like if this was something to tell the FBI, if this is something to be telling the government and the FBI. I mean, I did say that like, they would look at him cuckoo, but I still think that like in some form or some way, this should be like something private that should be told to like maybe like a government official or somebody that's close enough to the military, the army or something like that. I don't think that this should just be displayed on regular, on a regular medium social media site to be digested and to be dissected as such.
Suicide vest on. They had vests on with this explosive devices all over their vest. And so they used the trucks to go through police barricades. So you couldn't stop them. It was very powerful what they were trying to do, shooting out their tires and stuff.
I ain't gonna lie, that sounds like a movie for real.
This was well funded. And so when they took the trucks, they rammed them through the barricades, and when they finally stopped them, they ignited their vest and blew up the whole area, and it wiped out all the buildings. And it was, if you think what happened in Oklahoma City was big, this was like so much more. Like a huge 9/11 type event, y'all. And so, but it wasn't just one. The Lord showed me that it was over 1,000 men, and there was 10 major cities. There was 10 cities. The Lord told me. And so,
so he's saying that
had a target of like a Trump
there's going to be a collective amount of attacks
or something
under
that was important of our
Trump's presidency.
Our heritage. Like the Statue of Liberty was a target, and I thought, why the Statue of Liberty? It doesn't have a lot of people around it, but it represents freedom. It represents something that's important to us. And so I saw them go in and they try to take that out. I saw over what's the gardens over? I'm sorry, son. The Madison Square Garden. Yeah. I saw them attacking that. I saw them attacking Chicago. I saw them attacking Houston area, Dallas area. I saw them trying to attack Oklahoma City, LA, Seattle. There was a lot of cities, instead of just going over all 10 of them, because it's kind of, ridiculous. But let me see. So, okay, so I told you about that. And so now, okay, so they take vans, and I saw the vans, and they had all kinds of different vans, because the vans weren't as, you see a big dump truck going down the road, you're going to know.
Another thing I just want to like add on to what he's saying. Like, are you seeing, this is another red flag for me, because the people he described as being the ones who are doing the terror attacks, he described it as some like, some Latinos, some Hispanics, some South Americans coming into the country and doing these terrorist attacks. How come he didn't see visions of any, and I hate to say this, how come he didn't see any visions of any white men doing any terrorist attacks? Why is it so specific like that? Why is it so specifically like South American Latinos doing the attacks. Like, surely, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what percentage. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know what percentage, but a good percentage of attacks that happen that are terrorist attacks are, I'm gonna be honest with you, white American males that be doing it. Honestly. So, I don't deny that whatever he's seeing is not something, but I think the only thing that, like I said, I just don't feel like there should be a time, a date, anything like that should be like let out, because if you say if you say a date, or you say a time period throughout throughout whenever this is supposed to happen, and it doesn't happen, you're gonna be looked at like you're cuckoo. So that's how I feel about that. And then also, like I said, all the red flags that I have already mentioned before on the other video. Um, that in this one, it's just I don't deny that I'll say that, like, terrorist attacks or tragic things happen with each presidency. No president has been no president has come and became president and there wasn't something tragic that happened. There wasn't a national attack that happened in the whole country of America. So I don't deny that something like that, something that he's proclaiming in his prophecy that he has seen, isn't going to happen, because that's just prone to happen in America. But I do feel like a few of these attacks that he claims are going to happen more than likely aren't just going to be like from Hispanic people or Middle Eastern people attempting, let alone being, let alone the other. I'm not going to say what the other thing is. I feel like a lot of these terror attacks will be a white American male committing them. Because I mean, the assassination attempt on Trump was a white American male. We can't rule those types of attacks from happening. Oh, because mostly bombing attacks or anything like that is somebody who's Middle Eastern or somebody who's from outside of this country. He just mentioned the Oklahoma City bombing. That was a white American male who did that. So, that's just how I feel about
It's kind of like, especially it's parked it's mysterious. There was just a couple of those, but there was a lot of vans. I noticed that, those white cargo vans, and they filled the back of those vans full of highly explosive fertilizer, and they set those off in like parking garages. They try to get as close as they could to
it.
Trump
Wow.
buildings, to Trump hotels, and and they used drones. And the Lord showed me that they would try to attack
Very
with
specific
drones. They would use the
on
drones to
it
go
being
into
Trump.
the stadiums
Trump.
and things that they could fly
Anything
into.
connected
And I
to
saw them
Trump.
taking those and running them into crowds in the stadiums, and they exploded and took out a whole section of people, because people weren't expecting. You're watching the football game or the baseball game or whatever, and so people were not paying attention to what's going on. And so they flew the drone in and they just set the thing off in the middle of the stadium, and it killed thousands of people, it looked like. And
Trump's
so during the
inauguration to be
inauguration, the
moved
Lord said, "You
indoors.
must pray for the inauguration," which I don't know if they're going to have it outside or not now. I've been praying that he would not do the parade, and he will not do the event on the 19th, which I think is really interesting. Is that one of my subscribers pointed out? He said, "Do you see that it's 119 backwards? It's 9/11."
I have been so hot.
Oh, he believes in numerology too. He believes. Yeah, I think that's another red flag. Numerology, and you're a pastor. Come on, man. Numerology. That's for another video for me to get into. But anyways, numerology, and you're a pastor. So you believe you tie together your ministry with you believe in God, but you believe in conspiracy theories and numerology. It's enough said